So I've arrived in Port Ellen. I'm getting the boat from Port Ellen across to Craig. I hope to catch the 9:45 ferry, but that behind me is the 9:45 ferry, which is leaving Port Ellen, and I've missed it by about 2 minutes, so I have to figure out another plan. Join me on my latest bikepacking adventure as I cycle solo from Ballymena in Northern Ireland to the island of Islay and up the west coast of Scotland via Oban, Invergarry and Stratcarron, all the way to the famous Bealach Na Ba pass on the Applecross peninsula in the far northwest of the Scottish Highlands. Well, we're not off to a great start. I hadn't anticipated being in my waterproofs quite so soon, but yep, it's raining from the moment I've left the house. I've gone away backpacking this weekend in May a few times now, and the weather's always been pretty great, which is why I picked this weekend for this trip, but wasn't to be this time weather-wise, I guess. Anyway, it's between 5:30 and 6 in the morning, and I've just left Ballymena. I'm on my way to Ballycastle to catch the boat to Islay. I'm definitely going to be tight for time. Need to be there about 8 o'clock, so I have about 2 hours to get there. So coming at a bit fine, but fingers crossed we'll be okay. Well, I've made it to Ballycastle just in time for the boat, which is great. This was pretty much my only deadline on the trip, was to get here in time for the boat. And I had to push a little bit harder coming up the road than I would have liked, given that I still have 4 days of cycling to do. Yeah, I had to push a bit harder than I would have liked to get here in time, but I've made it in time. Like I say, that's my only real deadline, and I can kind of take it a bit easier from here. Kind of have all day, the rest of the days, to get where I'm needing to go. Sort of, there's one small complication, not a complication, there's one other tight deadline, but I don't have control over it. So my boat from Ballycastle to Islay is due to get into Port Ellen and Islay at 9:30. I'm due to catch the Calmac ferry from Port Ellen and Islay to Craig at 9:45. So I don't have a lot of wiggle room there for the ferry being delayed or late or weather hampering us. Yeah, that's definitely going to be tight, but again, I don't really have any control over that. Fingers crossed we're on time enough that I can catch the 9:45 boat. If not, I'll figure that out when I get to Islay. arrived in Port Ellen. Sailing was okay, a bit bumpy in places. I'm getting the boat from Port Ellen across to Craig. I hope to catch the 9:45 ferry, but that behind me is the 9:45 ferry, which is leaving Port Ellen, and I've missed it by about 2 minutes, so I have to figure out another plan. Okay, so I am on Islay again. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know I've been to Islay before. I do love Islay. Honestly, I love coming here. It's great that you can get a boat from Northern Ireland. This is my 3rd time on Islay, although I'm not stopping this time. Well, I wasn't meant to be stopping this time. The past 2 times I've come to tour Islay and Jura. This time I was just passing through, got the boat from Ballycastle to Islay. I'm getting the Calmac ferry from Islay to Craig. But as you saw, I missed my ferry by, literally by about 2 minutes, which is super annoying. But if any of you know me, you know I'm a very organised person. I knew there was a risk that was going to happen, so I actually have booked myself already on the later ferry anyway. So the next ferry is at 1 o'clock, so I do have 3 hours to kill on Islay, but that's fine. I'll find a cafe, I'll get some lunch, and I'll get the boat at 1 o'clock, and that's no problem at all. It does mean I'm not going to get to my hostel in Oban until 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, but that, again, that's why I'm doing this trip at this time of year, because it means there's plenty of light, so I don't have to worry about cycling at night. So yeah. But for those of you who are into maybe bike packing and cycling, I know you'll be dying to know a little bit about my bike setup. So on previous trips to Islay, I have been on a gravel bike and cycled on a gravel bike and been camping. This bikepacking trip I'm staying in kind of hostels and hotels, so it's not a camping trip. And also because I'm going to the Bealach Na Ba pass, I want to take my road bike. So I'm riding my my Canyon Ultimate on this trip, and I've got it set up with the tail fin Aeropack rear rack with 2 panniers, one 10-litre pannier and one 16-litre pannier. The 16-litre pannier is a new one that they have. I have my Tailfin top tube bag, and I've got Tailfin's new frame bag on the bike as well, and then I have a Northey bar bag up front. So that's kind of the setup. I love Tailfin's gear and Tailfin's equipment. It's really good setup. And I've just got, like I said, the new frame bag. The one problem with having a super small bike like mine is it's hard to get bags to fit. So I measured this for Tailfin's new frame bag and knew it was just about going to fit. I ordered the smallest frame bag that Tailfin do, and without the bottles in it fits fine, just about. And I had planned to bring 2 500ml bottles, but they wouldn't really fit with the 500ml bottle on the down tube, so I opted to put a 1 litre bottle in, because I can just about squeeze a 1 litre bottle in with the frame bag on. So they do offer a bottle cage dropper which moves your bottle cages down a bit, but that wouldn't have worked in my frame either. Like, genuinely, my frame is the 2XS. It's the smallest Canyon you can buy nearly. So if you ride a super small frame bike and are looking at getting a frame bag, just measure and double check your sizes and make sure it's going to fit, and think about your bottle and your water setup as well. But yeah, that's my bike setup. But anyway, like I say, I now have about 3 hours to kill on Islay. So I'm gonna go explore for a little bit, I guess. Maybe find a coffee, maybe a distillery, see what happens. So obviously Islay is known for its whiskey and its distilleries. I think there are 10 distilleries on Islay, something like that. I have toured, I think 4 of them. I've toured Lagavulin, Lefroy, Kilcoman and Bunnahabhain. I've never managed to tour Ardbeg. I didn't have enough time last time, and I don't have enough time today either to actually do a tour of Ardbeg. So I've heard they've got a really good cafe, so I've stopped for just a coffee and a scone, just to kill some time before I wait on my ferry from Fortwilliam over to Kennacrig, which is at the top of the Campbelltown Peninsula, and then from there I have about 60 miles to cycle to Oban. It's like a different place over here compared to Northern Ireland this morning. It's not raining, it's warm, it's dry, it's kind of sunny, it's great. I love Islay, honestly. Islay's one of my favourite places. Absolutely love it. Well, I better get a move on because that out there is my boat that is on its way to Fortwilliam, and I don't want to miss this one. Okay, I've made it onto the ferry from Fortwilliam to Kennacrig. Just a fleeting visit to Islay this time, just a couple of hours, and already I can't wait to come back to Islay again. Yeah, I want to come back and explore Islay and Jura a little bit more sometime in the future. If you ever get the chance to visit Islay, do. The scenery is amazing, the whiskey is great if you're into whiskey. Even if you're not into whiskey, the distillery tours are fascinating anyway, really interesting, so I highly recommend it to Islay. For now I have a couple of hours on the Localsh ferry from here to Kennacrig, and then another fairly hefty cycle. Okay, so I have arrived in Kennacrig on the Campbelltown Peninsula. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, and I have about 60 miles to ride to get to Oban, so it's about probably 3 to 4 hours, probably closer to the 4 hours because I have so much weight on the bike. I kind of underestimated how much my stuff weighs when I have it on the bike, forgotten how heavy it gets, so I have an extra 20 kilos on. So yeah, about 4 hours with an extra 20 kilos on to get me to Oban for my dinner and hopefully a comfortable bed. In an effort to make sure I'm definitely seen by local drivers and not annoying local drivers, I've made one very important addition to my bike. I do have rear lights on my bike, but I've also added a Scottish flag, you know, hopefully just to, yeah, appease the locals. So I've come in off the main road and taken a back road to get up through Localsh. Because the main road was busy and I'd already had 2 close passes. I thought this road would be quieter. In the first couple hundred metres I've met like 9 cars. So much for it being quieter. This is much better, much more like it. So this is the towpath along the side of the Crinan Canal. It does add quite a few miles going this way versus sticking to the road, but I'll be honest, that road wasn't much fun. Like, the surface was okay and it wasn't too hilly really for the most part, but the traffic was just horrendous. It's the main road along the Campbelltown peninsula, so from mainland Scotland down the peninsula, so just full of lorries and yeah, just really busy. So I'm much happier to be on a canal towpath, even if it means I have a few extra miles to do. That was a lovely kind of traffic-free 10 miles along the Crinan Canal. I'm now in like a nature reserve somewhere. It's so beautiful and peaceful. I mean, there's still traffic up on the road here, but still pretty peaceful. Although I can't stop for too long because the midges are out in force, so I've got to keep moving. But that's me off the nice traffic-free towpath and back onto roads again now, although it should be back roads for another maybe 10-15 miles. %. Horrendous. I hope there's a descent on the other side of this. So peaceful. Still, this road's actually not too bad. It's not too busy. Couple of horrendous climbs on it though, especially when I have all that weight on the back. It's been, yeah, a couple of really difficult climbs. 21 miles left to go until I'm in Oban. 6 o'clock, so should be getting there about 7:30. Yeah. Last climb of the day over this and then drop down into Oban. Thank goodness. I'm definitely feeling it. So I've arrived at my accommodation in Oban. I'm sitting down to a rather large bowl of pesto pasta, which may be more than I can physically eat, but I need to carb load because today was just day one of 4. So today I rode about 94 miles in total. I'm not sure what the elevation was, like 4,000 miles of elevation, 4,000 miles, 4,000 feet of elevation in total, something like that. And missing that ferry earlier was a bit annoying. It's not the end of the world, like I say, I got the next ferry, but I would have got here about probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but instead I didn't get here till kind of 7:30, 8 o'clock. So not ideal, don't have loads of time this evening. I just wanted to get in, get a shower, get changed, get some food in me, and then just go to bed, to be honest, because I'm pretty tired. The scenery and the views on the roads today were just unbelievable. Hopefully I've captured some good footage that you'll be able to see in the video. Yeah, unbelievable scenery, but definitely some challenging climbs, especially with so much kit on the bike. So I think in total like 90 something kilos, so my weight and the bike and all the gear. So yeah, definitely some tough climbs. As I said before, I'm doing this challenge to raise awareness of mental health and how physical activity can benefit you looking after your mental health, and how I find cycling to be a benefit to my physical and mental health. But as well as that, I'm raising money for Aware Northern Ireland. So there's a Just Giving link in the description of this video. It should still be active, I think, until early August 2024. So if you're watching this video before then, I'd love it if you could go click on that link and donate a couple of pounds. That would be really amazing. I would really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who has donated already. That's me for today. I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like, leave me a comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You know what to do. And I will see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow's ride.